So, hello friends. Say a little hi. Hello. My name is Fanny, and hello brethren, lovely brethren, friends, just people out there, whoever receives this video. English is not my mother language, and that's why I might take some time to build some sentences, and yeah, I have a really important message to get out to you. And the first thing I want to tell you, it's a kind of funny, to be honest. I never done a video so far, like, I can't remember. Maybe like 10 years ago or 7 years ago, somewhat, I've done a YouTube video, but not that anymore. At least I can't remember. So, and I was to like set up the phone and yeah, all this like things, arranging stuff in the back, like for just not having a too messy place. And that's actually just nonsense, because I said I will do this video no matter what. So I wasted some minutes already for just doing some really unimportant stuff. Firstly that. And I wanted to sit here with wet hair, like fresh washed, and don't care about how it looks. But I have a stiff neck at the moment, and the cold hair, like the cold wet hair, actually was so uncomfy that I had to blow dry. I never blow dry, but yeah. So now, after I finish telling you this unimportant stuff, and if you're still here, the reason why I'm doing this video today is to give you my testimony of my new love with Jesus Christ, my Messiah, my Lord, and my Savior. And before I start, I'm gonna pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity today to speak to the people out there. Thank you so much for giving your Son out of your reckless love for us, to make a way to get to you. Thank you for sending the precious Holy Spirit. Please fill me with your Spirit, Lord, from head to toe, so that every word out of my mouth is washed in your glory and love, and it's only coming truth out of my mouth, and that every word is going to spend life, and whoever is listening is going to be blessed. In Jesus Christ, amen. So, here I go. Okay, my name is Fanny. My earthly age is 35 years, turning 36 in a few weeks. What's that, like 2 weeks or something? I'm married. I have 3 beautiful kids. So a lovely husband whom I'm married to. And he's got a different testimony than I have. I will mention it like on the side, but today it's about what the Lord has done in my life. So I'm saved like from 12th of April 2020. Before that, so I was 30 years old. Yes. Before that, 30 years I lived without being saved. Like, I just lived a life that could have filled like 10 or 20 lives, not because I experienced so much suffering. I think there might be a lot of people out there who had to go through more, but I lived my life to the fullest. Like, I was an extreme person. I'm still kind of I'm still, but it's different now because it's so different when you're living not your life for you, but for the glory of God, and yeah, just giving the love back, or trying to, at least. I'm still human, so I fail a lot. Yeah, so I lived my life. I was an only child. I often was sad about it, but when I grew a bit older, like 9 or 10 years old, I kind of was happy about it, because I didn't have the most easy going mom. So it's hard, actually. I want to be honest, but I don't want to say anything that is hurting. But the truth is more important. So I grew up with my mom and my stepdad. I had him since I was like 5 years old. My parents, like my original parents, had never been married. They met at uni and been together for a couple of years, and they split up when I was about 3 years old. So I grew up with a stepfather, and he was like a really nice guy. For me, he was like protecting me. He's done lots of wrong things as well, I guess, but in relation to me, like what he did for me, not, he was really caring. He was lovely. And my mom, yeah, she suffered from, I would say, mental illness. Now I see it a bit different with the view of the whole spiritual world, but yeah. So she had kind of depression, and like some maniac depression kind of thing, like exploding and getting really mad and stuff. And also it was narcissistic, narcissist, you know, and a narcissist. So like the adjective from it, you know what I mean. And when you're an only child, you get like both sides of it. When you have siblings, I learned from reading that might be that the one kid is the good one, like the golden child, and the other one is the one who's suffering more. So I was lucky to say that I was lucky to get both of it. Like, you're the best thing ever happened to me. It's like, quote unquote, what she said sometimes. And on the other side, I don't want to recall it because I got over it, but just to have a clue and to speak to someone who maybe is gone through the same or similar things. On the other side, I was just a piece of that she was sorry to have given birth to. So these are the contrasts I grew up in. Like the background, like all like been to university, studied, and like a what's that, academic thinking. Like my stepfather, he's been not to uni, but my father, my mother, and I had a relationship to my biological father. I've seen him like 2 or 3 times a year, and one time of a year we always been like on vacation. We went to some places and with the plane, and yeah, just had a good time together. So it was actually how you call it, like a weekend father, but less. So I was missing him a lot, because when I was with him I actually could be a child, and yeah, he didn't have to deal with me growing up, but also he changed position because it's actually hurting. I'll see it like this. Yeah, So I don't want to, make it too long, but I see that the whole childhood subject is not easy to tell. Yeah. I don't know why is it actually difficult at the moment, or maybe it's because I make a public video about it, because everyone who knows me knows my story, and I'm a living wonder. Praise the Lord. Yeah. So I grew up in this unsafe place, to be just for your mental sanity. It was like I never knew what happened. I came home. My mom's been working, but sometimes she's been home, like she's been self-employed and stuff, and I never knew what happened. So like the weather just turning in an instant, and you don't know where you're actually going to. So I had not a home like I come to, and I feel safe and loved, and I always felt better if no one was home, like everyone was at work, and I just could be for myself. And yeah. So materialistically, I had everything. I had clothes, I had toys, I had we lived in a house. We had it just good, like not a shortage of anything, I guess. Not too much of everything, but it was pretty okay. I didn't have the feeling of someone can do whatever and I can't, or something like this, like many kids have to experience. So it's 11 minutes already. Sorry. Oh no. Oh yeah, Lord, please help me. Yeah. So I was good in school. I did easy on like nearly everything. It started getting a bit difficult with mathematics a bit later on, but I could see how important it is to have a good teacher, or someone where you actually feel safe. That makes a big difference in for learning. This is so interesting. So it's about relationship, yeah. It's about a relationship, and it's the thing about having a relationship with God. Like, no matter what you experience, no matter how much you suffered, and no matter how actually broken you were, he can heal everything. Like, and his light shines through, and you just feel, even in the darkest places, he's been there. Even if I didn't know him yet, he really was there. He protected my heart. It's so crazy. I can say that. I'm nearly crying, but yeah, he does. He actually protected my heart in all these different years, difficult years. He's so good. He's so good. So yeah, it's about him and his love, his never-ending love, limitless and without condition. So you're not only gonna be loved when you do what you have to do, when you behave like you have to behave to whatever is expected of you. You're just loved by him. And this is awesome. Oh wow. So I was okay. In school I was pretty good and didn't have to put a lot of effort in, but later I tell you, I was a big cheater. And yeah, so I had friends, really close friends I had for many years, like over 20 years, 25 years now. And so by the way, Akira, if you see the video, I miss you so much. It's a friend, she moved to England a few years ago, like 15 years ago, and for the last 2-3 years we don't have that much contact anymore. So anyways, I grew up in uncertainty. I had no physical needs, like I had a house, I had food, I had not to suffer, but emotionally, mentally, and when I was about 9 years old, I wanted to take my life. But God, I had a dog since like I was 7 or 8, I don't know. It was a German Shepherd, Golden Retriever, I don't know, your Goldie mix. And her name, so, her name was Shalom. Shalom, so you know the Hebrew greeting and like peace and more of that. Oh, it was such an awesome dog, and I think God gave it to us and to me, for me. Like, I had someone. I didn't have brother or sister. I was alone a lot, but I had this dog to care for, and it was actually the dog that made me think, I can't leave my dog alone. So that's why her name is so precious. She's amazing. She was amazing. She got like, I guess 16 years old. Yeah. I didn't know I would need them. So, yeah. Shalom. And yeah, I had kind of anxiety around that age, you know, and a good neighbor of us and an older, like a grandpa, he passed away, and I never had any experience with death so far, and it was so overwhelming, and I was so, I don't know what actually hit, like from the view now, I would say a spirit of death or something, some tormenting thing just entered into my life, and at the same time I started reading Harry Potter books. So like I was one of the first reading it, like, you know, the whole hype started after that, and it was a big piece of my childhood. I just reflected on it because of the whole witchcraft sorcery thing. I guess it made an impact in my life, like not a good one. I tried to see always the good things, like, yeah, about the characters in the story, but yeah, I think I don't sit really comfy, and it has to be more comfy to tell you all these things. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, my neighbor died, and I got this anxiety. I can't tell you if it was with the suicidal thoughts, was before or after, but it was all around that age, between 9, 10. Yeah, so I was like freaking out, like in school, at home. Like I always fear that everyone died, like my mom, my stepfather, like anyone I liked, my friends. Like I was so scared all the time that immediately in a split second everyone is gone, or something like this. It was so bad that I went in school, I've been crying, ran onto my teacher and just grabbed her. I'm like, oh, everybody's gonna die, and like, what? I don't know. So it was really hard and tough time. And at night I was so scared to go to bed. Like I couldn't sleep. And my biological father had a friend at the time, like a girlfriend, and she gave me some plant stuff to rescue me was it, yeah, and to calm down a bit. It helped a little, but yeah, finally it's like 8 or 9 months of suffering. Like, and my mom couldn't deal with it at all. She was so overwhelmed, and she told me, like, if you don't stop crying, if you don't recover, whatever, you have to go to a boarding school. I was like, oh, that's the last thing you should say if someone is like, you know. But fair enough, I've done enough failures with my kids as well, so like many that I'm forgiven of. So blessed. So actually that's the message I want to give out to you. Like, you all are forgiven. You just only have to believe in Jesus and what he's done for you on the cross. But I will come to it later. So I don't, the maximum I want to have is 1 hour. So I hope I get it. So my mom, yeah, couldn't deal with it, and because she's barely could deal with her own feelings, and never actually could. So I was visiting from my stepfather, the parents, like they were being grandparents for me, and they had they had a few grandchildren, and they loved me and cared for me like if I was their own. So I experienced the whole step family thing as a really blessing. And I'm okay. So moving around a lot. Yeah, it's actually I didn't expect it to be that as it is right now. So, and my step grandma had a sister. She's alive still, I guess. We talked like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know. Her name is Waltraud. So, yeah, if anyone knows her, she was the black sheep in the family because she was a believer. You know, no one was believing her. Like from the GDR, German Democratic Republic, like DDR in German, like all from East Germany, like all redheads, like socialists, whatever, being in the Partei, I don't know, like, oh no, there's no God. No, not at all. But she believed. I don't know when she started believing, but I grew up seeing her. She's a believer. I've seen her like twice a year. And when I had this anxiety and this bad suffering, she was actually, at the moment, she was visiting my grandparents, step-grandparents. And I told her, I didn't have to tell her, I was just crying, I was scared, I was just, I couldn't keep it. It was like so bad. And she just stood there with the greatest peace and told me about Jesus. And that he died on the cross, and that there's heaven and like eternity, and it was the moment my fear has gone. This is the first time I tell this in this expanded version, extended, you know what I mean. And my fear was gone. I was still afraid of like sleeping too little, because I thought if I was sleeping too little at night, I had a bad day. So I rioted in a strange mode, whatever. So I realized, I'm not scared anymore. Okay. So a whole bad season stopped. Like the bad season about me feeling so not good. No, not good. So I could finally start living again, like without crying and being scared the whole day. Yeah, so I became a teenager and things getting pretty wild. So, you know, if you have not some stability, and you actually not really know, are you loved or are you not? And so the whole what if, and it's like it's not been really clear to me. So I was looking, checking, and I was a people pleaser. I wanted to have everyone love me. I wanted to like just everyone be nice to me and do whatever it takes to make them like me. And then I found out it's not possible. No one told me, but I found out it's not possible. Not everyone will like you. And I couldn't deal with it because I had no foundation. Like there was no base on, yeah, you're loved anyways, or you're a good kid, whatever. So if someone didn't like me, I've done better to not like them. So between the years of being not liked, and not of everyone, but a few people, and feeling really, really bad about it. Like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do to make them love me? Like, doing weird stuff just to be seen by others and accepted. And wow, I totally agree that this is the right time to do this video. Wow, I didn't know when I was reflecting, I was going through a few things again. Because you have to know, I'm not grieving, I'm not sad because it's all been so sad and I'm so sad. It's because what God made out of it, what he got me out of, what he actually healed. Like, whoa, you can't imagine. He's amazing. He's so good. Yeah, so the teenager years started, I was rebellious. Like, I was not that much rebellious at home because I had lots of liberty, freedom. I could do a lot of things I wanted to do because I was good in school. I knew how to behave. I could argue, debate, whatever. I made my parents clear. So I called my stepfather dad. So I had two dads to mention. I made it clear what was my opinion. I could argue, find facts for something. So I'm like a well-developed human being, thinking on her own, being able to tell whatever she needs, or so, and adaptable. Yeah, is it? Yeah. So no matter where we've gone, I would suit in, like I would make it happen that I was loved. So, and then I actually always loved people. Like, this was another thing. I really, the things I told you about my mom telling me good and bad things are the same, or just all over again. I love people. I love to listen to everyone. You have to be, really empathetic. Is that empathetic? To, when you rise from, like, with a narcissist, you become like the most, you become a good listener. You become someone who's, the people pleasing thing just comes out of this. And because my role as a kid and a youth person, a young person, like growing up, was always to make, or at least try to not get my mom upset, to not make her angry, to not get her to say any mean things. So I was trained without being trained, like just surviving. Actually, I was trained to just go through it somehow. And so as a teenager, I was always like, in school I was loud, I was disturbing. I got thrown out of the classroom quite a few times because I think I need it. Yes. It's better to lean on. I got thrown out of the classroom a few times. I was making lots of jokes. Sometimes I was the only one who laughed, but I didn't care. I was extreme in all my feelings. It was so bad. And when I was 14, today, this is just not my day-to-day thing anymore, like to cry a lot. I still cry. And it's easy to make me cry because, if someone or something, you tell me a bad thing or a sad thing, I just feel it. Like, I feel it. I feel a person. I feel the whole hurt of the world since I was little, often. And it's so overwhelming. That's what I said. The Lord protected my heart because I wouldn't have survived, like, if he hadn't. Because, it's, what was the English expression for high sensible? I don't know, that thing. But I wouldn't say about too many clinical diagnostics things. I I don't care anymore because I've got the Lord. So I was in school. It was grade 8, so I was about 14. I was disturbing in the lesson, like maths, a math teacher. She was great, but I was a bit scared in her presence sometimes. I was still disturbing, so I wasn't too scared. But when I had later a male teacher who's been like really funny, but really, really streng. So yeah, the mixture between funny, joking, and forcing us to learn really something. He was awesome. So I become much better in maths then. And yes, so actually I was disturbing her lesson. I was laughing, being loud, noisy, whatever. And she said something to me like, Aman, she told me to shut up or just calm down, whatever. And I started crying, like, you know, the water came out of my eyes, and I was like, ah! And she said, can you come with me, please? So we were in front of the classroom, and I just, you know, I just broke down. And she said, Fanny, what's wrong with you? What is happening? Why are you always so this and that and up and down and up and down? And I was like, first time someone really asked, I was like, I don't know. It's just all a lot. It's just, yeah. And another really cool thing from someone outside the family. No, not outside the family, but my stepfather, he had siblings, and one was like my aunt, Gabi. Unfortunately, I have no contact with her, but for the years she was in my life, she was God sent as well. And she'd been working with people who needed support, like because they couldn't manage their own life, like they needed help from from state, like, and she was working at some place, and with that work she's been to a lot of psychiatric hospitals, like having persons that she had to care for, and so she's seen a lot of mental illnesses. And so it's just relieving because when I was 10 or 11, she said to me, Fanny, your mom loves you, but she's sick. She's like really sick, ill. She has something, like, don't mind. It's not you. You know what that means to a kid growing up, always believing you're wrong, it's your fault, you could have done better. but how? Yeah, she she gave me hope in that dark place. So that's actually what I want to say. God is using people in your life. They don't have to be believers. They don't have to know the Bible. No, he's really using people. And I heard that a lot of times from other brothers and sisters, like how God is actually caring, like, through others. And if you don't have certain things at home or in your family or friends around, how he's pulling, drawing, dragging, I don't know, persons in your life, also with just speaking truth through their mouths, and love and compassion and all this stuff. So that's why lots of people think, yeah, you can be a good person without God. Yeah, I totally get it, but I will get to it. So yeah. So I was 14, you know, back to my maths teacher, and her asking me what is wrong, and I was like, phew. Like 2 or 3 years later, like starting going to parties, drinking alcohol, and smoking cigarettes, I realized that I realized, but I was still on that path. I never do any drugs, because this, like, I had this in my mind, like, drugs, you take drugs and it's going downward like this. I didn't have a clue that there's difference in it, but I don't want to glorify it. I don't want to say anything good about it, but so I was like, I had this picture in my mind that if you do drugs, you're gonna be on the street, with certainty quite soon. So, my biological dad, he's still alive. I still feel like I can't say too many things that are, but exactly, again, what I said, it's about the truth, and I know someone will be blessed by it and just feel any help from any word I say. So that's why I say it. So I was 13 or 14, when my dad called my mom for birthday. We always has had a good relationship. So like my stepfather, my mom, my biological father, they could deal with each other. There was no issues. I really love that looking back. So I'm really thankful for that. So, and he called her out of a rehab clinic, and that he had a really bad time and he wanted to take his own life. And I say it was God just holding him back. But in he was drunk. He thought he needed help, and then he called the ambulance, emergency call, and he came into that clinic. He never stayed there. He always thought he doesn't need it. So here I am. My mom the same, actually. She started so many things to get help, but she always felt like, I don't need it. They need help, or they're not good enough. So this is the crazy thing. It's not only the narcissism, it's the pride. And I can tell you a lot of things about pride. Lord, I will do. Oh no, it's 37 minutes already. Oh Lord. But yeah, so the thing is about I don't need help, or I don't need help. This is actually pride. I don't need help. What's wrong about getting help? Why is it so hard to take help? Lots of people love to help because they feel better when they help someone. But out of genuine love and compassion for someone, I think it's rare. Like, the intentions, I just believe, I can't tell you by numbers, but when I look into mankind, and yeah. So, and the people who really like loving, helping, whatever, they don't talk about it a lot. I guess I don't think it's totally fine to share testimonies from people helping others, but it has to be some kind of balance there and some learning. And maybe if someone picks out a story where he or she helped someone and how God did his work there, it should not be like everyday things to tell, because it's about his glory and about making him happy and helping others because we help him. Like that's the deal. So I need to stop. I need to go to the bathroom for a second. So Lord, please have mercy on me. I don't want to have this message too long. And you have the life before you met Jesus, and then what he's done for you, and then what changed. Or like the moment you meet him and everything changes. And yeah, I actually want to be now. I want to give him the glory, and I want you to see actually how all that changed. But a little bit I need to add. So as a teenager, I was like, I'll never do drugs because it's going like this when you do. And so, well, yeah, I had a good friend. Oh no, I don't want to talk about everything. Like, he passed away. He got no, he's not murdered, but he got violated, and a few years later he just passed. So he was since that moment he got hit on the head, and he never recovered from it. So he was like really, really sick for years, and lived in a clinic. And yeah, and before all that happened, he was actually the one who always been talking, and everyone was like annoyed, but he's talking and he's asking questions, and he's like, he never shuts up, but he's not like only talking crazy things. He was like really asking really good questions, like my mom is a philosopher, so I've been raised with good conversations, like talking about whatever holds the world together. So it was really interesting. And he was the one who started with took some mushrooms and did this or that. And because I trusted him, because I seen him still walking and talking and being the way he was, so I started doing different things, just tried. And then I was in Australia after I finished school, when I was, what's that, not high school, but longer in Germany, it's a gymnasium. So you can go after uni dann, after uni, genau. And I was in Australia for half a year, and then I not only did nearly any kind of drugs. I was doing everything, like everything that God said wasn't for us. Adultery, fornication, just living unclean in so many ways. I was in really, really dark places. I never really liked thinking of someone is out of an academic family and someone is not. I've been with everyone, like no matter where in society they were, what background they had. I was actually loving people, each and every one, and their story. And there was no he or she is not good enough. So that was a blessing. That was really a blessing. Yeah. So because I was hurt that much, I couldn't receive properly like real kindness and love. So as soon as someone was in my life who actually really loved me and cared for me, like boyfriends, and like would have treated me in a good way and manner, I rejected them at a certain point. I couldn't go on. I couldn't move on because I couldn't deal with that. Being loved or cared for, at least not harassed, and it just hurt. So every time I had someone, and I had lots of people on my side, like always someone, and the next, and the next, and the next. Always, if someone was there who actually was nice, I couldn't stay. I had to leave. And this is a question you hear in the world, I think, a lot. Why do they go to us, to the bad guys? And often it's because, not because they're more attractive or something, it's because the heart is not capable of receiving something different than just bad messages and betrayal and hurt and suffering or something like this. So came back from Australia, went to uni, studied. It doesn't matter. So I was actually finishing my master's already and wanted to go to Canada. So I was about to travel again. But then at that moment, I had another boyfriend who I actually didn't know that long. I got pregnant. Everyone around me was like, oh, how can you? Oh, you just finished uni. Oh, you don't know him. I don't know. I didn't care. I was like, oh, I'm becoming a mom. Oh, it's the most precious thing. Remember my childhood, my growing up. It's like, wow. So, and actually before that, I didn't pray at that moment, and I still like was looking for God or whatever I was looking for. I was like talking to the universe or something like this. And I was like, what will I do soon? Like I finished uni, I go to Canada, I might be traveling the world for a few years, I don't know. What will I do? How will I use the things I learned? I think more in life than in uni, but that's another subject. How will I use it? Where will I go? Who will I teach to? Whatever lesson I've learned. And now I was pregnant. I was like, wow, what a blessing, what a message, like from, I didn't believe in God then, but I said like, wow, that's an answer of, okay, I can give everything I have just to this little human being. So, yeah, I received a precious daughter. She's 10 now. Oh. So I stayed in a relationship because I just wanted a normal family. I didn't want to have a kid from someone and just move on alone. And I was like, okay, we try, but I wasn't really realistic at the time. I was always optimistic, and I know now with God everything is possible. But back then I was like, oh. I didn't have God and didn't pray, so I was trying my best to get through it. So, yeah, so it was rough. So it's another thing, actually, it's just the truth. It's hard to share, but so I've been doing drugs till I was pregnant. Like, actually, when I found out, I stopped. Like, I never done drugs like a whole week long or something, just only for party and for fun and whatever. But I've done it, and it's not making it better. So, but the people I was around, they were like, they had to live with it. Like, they needed it every day. And so the guy I had the baby with as well. And I was like, because I was thinking everyone has to think the same like I was, like, it's easy. If I want to stop, I just stop. I don't need it. So, yeah, it was not like that. So it was a quite suffering time. If you have someone with addiction, trying to get off it, but on his own, starting all over again, like all the mood swings, all the depression, all that, was so exhausting. But now there's the old funny, like, I didn't want to have an only child. So I got pregnant again. Not because we were in a relationship, had a fundament, just didn't agree about it, nothing. I just got pregnant again. Like, how selfish. So selfish. It was so selfish. Like, against him, against my daughter, it was just not okay. But God. The little brother, he came out so beautifully. It was like, wow. I really wanted him, like my daughter, she was not planned, but I was like, the first moment I knew about it, I was like so happy, and I was filled with joy all the time, and this is so precious. And him, I was like looking forward to, no matter how the circumstances were. The relationship was bad, the surroundings was not good, it was just not a nice place to actually intentionally get a child into. And that's why I'm really, really pro-life always. I've been before I was a believer already. I always said, if I was raped by someone, I didn't know if maybe I think about it again. But then I received so many testimonies through the years, even from people who've been raped, and what a blessing these kids are. Like, so Okay, I see it's 49 minutes. I failed. I can't do it in 1 hour. I'm so sorry. Maybe it takes the second part. I don't know. Yeah. My plan was for this morning when the kids are away. I do the English version and I do a German version, but I'm short of time. Yeah. So, genau. It's German. So it's a gap filler. I had my second baby. It's like me, like not we had a baby. It's like me had a baby because I wanted it, and it was like, it was so hard. The whole things around. Well, so when actually the little one was 8 months old, 6 months old, 7 months old, and the bigger kid like 2 years older, like exactly 2 years older, we separated. So I was done. So, and for me it was okay. For me it was like, well, I have 2 kids already and I can't deal with the whole stuff my ex now he had. I couldn't keep it anymore. It's like, if you carry someone on your shoulders who has like really much trauma and suffering and addiction or whatever, and doesn't take any help from outside except you carry him through, is not healthy. And who has kids knows how occupied you are when you have kids. And I wanted to be there for them, and because the relationship wasn't, anyways, so we split up, and finally then he got help. But unfortunately, so just forward a bit, he took his own life 3.5 years ago. It wasn't a time I was already a believer. I already told him about Jesus. I forgave him, whatever. I don't know if he did with me. I don't know his answer about the whole Jesus believing thing was just, he doesn't like the concept of being a sinner. I was like, okay. So, but this was the last thing he said, like the year before he committed suicide. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. What happened. So now actually is coming the part, when Jesus stepped into my life. So I had the 2 kids. I was with them on my own, like in a little flat, living on social. Was that I didn't work at the time because I was about, no, you don't give your kid away when it is that young, because actually the state's gonna pay for the kindergarten because you have to work. But what if the money they spend for the kindergarten actually I have and take care of my kids by myself, and it was the best decision ever. And I don't want to discuss now if you have saved your own money, whatever. It's not about it. At that time I done many wrong things, and yeah. So I was with them on my own. I was always looking for love and truth, and I didn't say I was looking for something because no, I'm not. I'm good. Yeah. I've been into esoterics. Is it English word for? Yeah. Like if there's human design, Maya horoscopy, any angel cards, I don't know, all the spiritual stuff, cocoa ceremony, name it. I guess I tried a lot of things because through the years my mom started doing tarot with the tarot cards when I was about 10. So that came on top to the whole illness thing. There was lots of occult things in my life. And yeah, I kept looking and trying, and my friends never knew what. Actually, the next week I had knew and told them it's this and that, and I never went into yoga and stuff. I think like the Lord protected me. I actually think he protected me for diving too deep into something. I was looking, and having new things. I was interested. I was reading a lot. I was, occupying my mind and getting new things just to try and whatever. I was like open-minded person, tolerant, whatever. But I was not having peace. I was restless. Most of the time I was just wandering around, and now I know I had a hole in my heart. Like there was something missing. Like the most crucial thing, it was Jesus. I was looking for Jesus. So, and now there's a verse. Lots of people heard about this one, and it made them think about, and actually this is the verse lots of people got saved through. I know. So you might have heard it already. It's John 14:6. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. So remember that. I was always looking for answers. And so I was alone with the kids for like 1 year, and then a friend and my now husband, he sent me a message that he's in the place where I live in for visiting, and he's been living in Switzerland already for like several years, and that's where we are now at the moment, and for 6 years now already. So he was visiting us. He said, I want to know how are you? How are the kids? He was caring, like he always cared. He was also already dark places, but he cared. Like he asked, and he was, giving attention. Like he was really, my ex, he was so about himself and his suffering. He couldn't care. Not for the kids, and he just was occupied with himself, like figuring out his own problems, stuff, whatever. So he came and visited us, and we had like a 2-hour talk. And 2 weeks later, he said he's around again, and if we want to meet, it was New Year's Eve, and I was like, okay, yeah. So actually, he stayed at our place for a couple of days, and it's fast forward 8 months later, I moved to Switzerland with the 2 kids. And it was not easy. No, you get it. I was finally ready for love and settle down, and like, but we came out of dark places. So he's been now drug addicted as well, and I was like, I could stop because I've been mom, and I could stop, so anyone can stop. I was always projecting all the good things, like all the good beliefs. Like I was crazy optimistic in so many ways. Someone would say not realistic, but I don't care. It helped me get through. So he said, I want to stop doing whatever he's done. I won't go into detail right now. And I was like, okay, cool. So he's stopping, he's stopping. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I just didn't know. I didn't want to see. I was so, I got gaslighted the whole time in my life from not only my mom, but lots of people just, yeah. It was easy to actually lie to me, and I was like, okay. I didn't get it. So then we moved to Switzerland. So it's 1 hour already. I will just make a cut here, and I think I just go on telling the story.